fun to do bad things, to drive into a car.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing part 2 of the manual swap. So today we're actually going to pull the auto trans, put the clutch in, and then mock up the manual transmission so I can measure the distance between the transmission to diff so I can custom order the drive shaft. So we still got to unplug some lines from the transmission, the auto trans to the radiator, and once that's out we're ready to unbolt the trans and pull it out. So there's a line right here, this line right here connects to here, goes underneath, comes out to these 2 holes, and those holes are pretty much the transmission cooler that connects to the radiator. So we need to unplug that and then unbolt everything else along the transmission so we get it out, and then we can unbolt the torque converter and then pull the trans out. So yeah, we're gonna get this part done, and my friend's gonna come here soon so he can help me pull the trans out because it does work better with a few extra people. So yeah, we're gonna start right now. All right. From the bottom of the car, you can see 2 hoses connected to the transmission. I just cut one side because it makes life easier. And you can see I'm about to cut this one right here, just already cut. And then you can disconnect it from the car and pull it from those 2 lines right there, right there. I got the trans cooler lines disconnected. So right now they're just kind of sitting right there. And yeah, there's nothing connected to the transmission anymore except the trans itself, and as well as the dipstick. So I gotta figure out how to take that out, and then we can unbolt the trans and take it out. So we're getting close. All right, so we're taking out the bell house or torque converter, right, Efren?
Yep.
Keep going, keep going. All right, stop. He's gonna hold it from the front. I'm gonna break it from right here. All right, I got Efren here helping me out with the install, or the uninstall actually. So we're just gonna now unbolt the transmission all around the trans tunnel. We broke loose the torque converter from the engine. Now we just gotta take all these bolts around and bolt it from the cross member, and then we can just yank it out. All right, so we're getting all the transmission bolts out. There's one right here. They're 14 to 17, so just gotta figure out which one's which. The hardest ones are the starter bolts, so gotta be creative and get long extensions and come through the backside. But yeah, we're getting close. We have 2 more bolts. All right, so we got all the bolts out around the tail housing. You have to drop it a little bit so you can get some long extensions that go all the way across the back. That's how we got it loose, but now we're disconnecting the harnesses from the trans so we can pop it out. There's that last one right there that needs to come off, and we can pull the trans out. Okay, where should I hold it from?
And then I'm gonna push up and try to smooth his jack out.
Wait, hold on.
You get in position first.
I'm trying to figure out what the best position is.
Probably like that.
It is?
Yeah. But when you push up, alright. Ready?
Yeah.
Hold on, alright?
Yeah. The converter.
It's coming out or no?
Yeah, coming out. It's in the trans tunnel. Yeah. Fucking the big round thingy.
The torque converter?
Yeah.
Can you push it in?
Let's see. Okay, so what do we do?
Is it attached to the flex plate?
No. It's coming out with it slowly, but I think it's kind of stuck. Oh shit!
Got it?
It's on my hand.
Keep your hand up. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to take off the vent.
What vent?
The vent line right here.
Oh, fuck that vent.
Oh.
All right, so it's a new day, and there's a bunch of things that we need to prep before we finally swap in that trans to that one, which we'll be doing tomorrow. First things first, we got to figure out if this mount will work. So the original mount from the W58 is a old Celica, which has the old style mount and has these, you know, kind of weird thing in the middle. This is from an SC300. We're gonna see if it works. So this is the OEM mount, which supposedly should work, and this should line up. So this is the front of the car, this is the back of the car. What does it say? I don't know. It's 2 arrows. So that fits, which is good. And basically the same way I did with my W58 and my IS300, I can only use 1 bolt, so which should work. I mean, it works on my IS, so at least we know this works. This is a used one. Shout out to homie Dylan for giving this to me for free. I have one coming on Monday, so we'll have a new fresh bushing, but that works. So that's confirmed. That's out of the way. Next is changing the seal right here, because there's always leak and it's out of the car, so it's easy to replace right now. All right, I got this cover popped off. You can just get like a flathead and just pry it off. Try not to scratch the outer ring. Pretty stuck. All right, I got this one popped out. I'm gonna pop the new one in. All right, so this is the new seal. We clean off the inside surface area, and we're just gonna try to hammer it in. Make sure you put it in perfectly straight so it doesn't leak. Brand new seal is in. That's done. Pop this bad boy back in. Just slides in and just hit it in. Got everything kind of in place. That's how it's gonna look. That's how my IS300 looks, and it's been holding up. But yeah, now I got this kind of slightly mocked up. It's a little bit loose, but just because the internet said you might need to flip the trans, so I left it loose just in case, to make sure it lines up under the car. But last thing we got to do now is hook up the reservoir, the clutch reservoir, and then run the line from inside the clutch all the way to under the car, which should be easy. There's an access under there. Just got to move everything out the way. All right, so this is kind of the last part of the swap that I've been putting aside for so long, is mounting the reservoir right here. So I got this L bracket and this reservoir that came from Heat Lining Speed. It's gonna be bolted onto it, and then it's gonna hook onto right there. So right now I'm gonna drill a hole and bolt it through. All right, I got the bolt right here, and I gotta find some bolts for this so I can screw it into here. And yeah, it's just enough room to go in here. The plugs, I don't know, I gotta figure that out, how that's gonna plug, but it's there. So we're gonna go to the hardware store later. Probably the last thing I do, since I don't wanna go out and come back. Next is to route this wire from the clutch through the floor and onto the transmission, or the transmission that will be there. I just wanted to have it routed so I don't have to do it in the middle of the swap. All right, to route the clutch line, you're gonna wanna remove this thing right here, because you need to access the clutch reservoir. Take out the trim, which should be just a couple clips. Put this up, put those out, and then you're going to pull the carpet back. But before we do that, let's take out these right here. Should be 2 bolts right here, one right here, one right here. Pop this out. If you guys installed the clutch already, which I have a video on that, you'll know how to take this apart. But there's a line that we need to access back there, so let's take it out. So I have the 90-degree fitting fitted right there. Oh man, lighting's super bad. Hopefully you can see that right there. That is how it's connected. Right there. Lighting sucks, but it's connected. Now we have to run the rest of this line down under the car. There's a hole somewhere in here that I'm going to run it to. I saw a video where another guy online ran it through the firewall and it wasn't long enough, so they had to go through here. I don't want to run through the firewall and run it down, because this does not look long enough. Honestly, it doesn't. So we're gonna just go through this way. All right, it's a little bit dark, but there's this plug right here. I'm gonna try to pull out with some pliers. All right, coming out from outside the car, you'll see the hole right there. I popped it out. And what we're gonna do is cut a little hole so we can slide the clutch line through so no water gets into the cabin. All right, got a hole. Now we're just gonna put it through. Not the best lighting, but it's dark in here. Now I can run the cables through and no water is gonna get into the cabin. All right, everything is kind of wired up together now. and you can see the clutch line coming right here, and it can go to the slave that will be right here. All right, all the little stuff is done. So basically we mounted the clutch reservoir, we routed the line from the clutch slave, the master slave, all the way to the under the car. And then we also test fitted a couple small things like the clutch fork. I had to buy a new ball where the clutch fork mounts onto. Test fitted the transmission bushing and the mount, and looks like everything's ready to go for tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna pick up the rest of the video tomorrow where we're gonna mount the clutch flywheel, put the trans in, and that'll be the end of part 2 installs. All right, I got the reservoir mounted pretty securely. It's not going anywhere, just one bolt right here, and there's 2 bolts connecting the mount to the L bracket. Pretty good. All right, now we got to start installing the clutch kit. And first things first, you got to take out this plate right here that came from the automatic transmission. This is going to be replaced with the flywheel. That's one. So let's take it all out. It is a little heavy, so be careful. And that's out. And now you can see this is where the rear main sail is that we got to replace. Looks like it was leaking. Let's see. Yeah, look how leaky that shit was. So we're gonna replace the rear main seal, put the new clutch kit in, and we're good. All right, so we're gonna have to wait to put the clutch in, but for now we're gonna mount the trans up so I can measure the drive shaft from the trans to the diff. And there's a little bit delay because I don't have the extended shifter right here. So we're gonna wait to put that in, but we're gonna put the trans in, measure it, and take it back out. And the last step will be putting the shifter back in and putting the trans back in on the next video. So let's throw this in.
Can you just kind of give an idea?
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah, kinda. There you go. Push. Wiggle. There we go, it's in. There we go.
Okay, so we're just gonna put in
the bolt.
Just like put 2 of them in.
We got the trans mocked up right now, so all I gotta do is measure from the housing right there, from the input shaft or output shaft to the diff. And we're also gonna measure where I need to cut, because I'm gonna cut the trans tunnel. I'm gonna pull this trans out so that way I can measure, or we can redo the shifter. We're gonna measure where to cut underneath. I actually measured from the top, but I just wanna make sure I got it right, so you can see the shifter's right here. So if we get it from outside.
Right here,
and then right here. That looks like should be good. All right, so this is where I'm gonna cut. It's gonna be enough room in between the e-brake, but yeah, now we're measuring the drive shaft, which the rough estimate should be around 58 inches. I can't believe that's been like 4 years now, dude.
I know, almost, dude. It's insane.
Oh, that hurt my ear. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Pull it out.
Good.
You good?
Yeah.
Woo!
All right.
Yeah.
We're good.
Good shit, Corn.
All right, so that's the end of part 2 of how to install or how to manual swap the GS300. The things that we couldn't get done today was put the clutch in with the pressure plate. We didn't have the right tool to put the pressure plate bolt. It's like a 12-point, it's an 8mm 12-point socket, I believe, and we just didn't have that, and I didn't want to go buy it. And we didn't really need to put it on yet because I couldn't put the transmission in yet because we're still waiting for the shifter to be extended. We got a few pieces missing for it, so we're just gonna get that done tomorrow, and it should be extended and ready to throw on. But I was able to get the measurement for the drive shaft, and it came out to 58 and 1/8 inches. And I hope that's right. So if you guys are watching this, that is probably the measurement. I contacted Drift Motion last week, and when I told them that I was doing a GS300 swap with a W58, they told me that it was 58 inches around there. And so when I did it, mine was at 58 and 1/8. So hopefully that's good. Yeah, we're gonna end the video here. So we're getting real close. In about a week or two, as soon as the drive shaft comes in, we're gonna throw the clutch in, put the trans back in, drive shaft, and the car should be ready to go and start running once I put everything back together. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.